Well, today we had the Mitradale hearing. And it was pretty anticlimactic. It was very anticlimactic, actually. Before we get into that, though, for if you're just tuning in to this video for the first time and you have no clue what we're even talking about, you can check out our last video. We kind of introduced the situation we had with the babysitter that we were working with and how we got summoned to a hearing with the Ministry of Labor and Workforce here in Panama, with the accusation that we terminated, wrong or, and stuff like that. So you go back and you watch that video. We're not going to share all that here. But if you know all that information, we're just going to continue on with that. Now, before that, though, them comments from the last video, man, I mean, it's on two different ends. They were. I thank you all for those of you who had prayers and had grace in the fact that we were learning about being here and that we're just trying to figure out things as we go as well. And then for the rest of y'all
mean.
Y'all and you get what you deserve.
Listen, y'all.
Colonizer.
Thank everybody that supported us and prayed for us and gave so many good comments and feedbacks. We understand that YouTube, you're gonna have both sides, in any video. But man, y'all, some of the mean ones, y'all really came for us. But it is what it is. We hope our goal is to get this information out so that it can help you make a decision on whether or not Panama is going to be for you. And a disclaimer: obviously, know that it's not how all Panamanians are. We have great relationships with Panamanians here. It's gonna be like that in any other country that you're in. I mean, people asking you for money. I mean, I just had a relative reach out and ask me for some money. So it's like we're just sharing our journey and what's going on. So let's get to how we ended up. How we were feeling up until going to Mitradale, because this weekend was kind of like I had a little bit of stomach knots because I wasn't sure on how it was going to be.
Yeah, it was just kind of like a feeling of uncertainty. Of course, it didn't help, and that's kind of the thing. Like when you do YouTube videos, it does stick in your skin because it didn't help seeing some of the comments. People were just kind of like being like very extra on what you're going to expect and telling us, oh, you guys are going to get sued, or you deserve it. You're going to go there. I hope you get the worst for going there and trying to take advantage of their people. So of course that stuff's in your mind. Like, hey, are they going to take it that I try to take advantage of this person, even though I paid them more than they asked for, fed them, and try to do other things for them? But in the end, we're just like, you know what, God got us. We were praying a lot. We were praying a lot over the weekend. So just fast forward to today. We had to be there this morning at like 10 a.m. And that itself was just a journey trying to get there. We left like over an hour, about an hour early, and it was just not easy to find.
It was hard to find.
Yeah.
Huge building, so many different elevators, so many different doors, and probably, a little bit of nerves going in, like, what are we going to expect? Are we going to run into her? How is that going to be? So it was a lot of uncertainty on there. And then the night prior, we had spoke with the attorney. He kind of was giving us like the worst case scenarios in terms of amounts and things like that, if she doesn't agree and things like that. So we get to the building, we're with the attorney, and then
so we get to the building with the attorney. We bring their summons, we check in with them, and they say, okay, hey, she's not here yet, so you gotta wait until she arrives, and then we'll get started with the hearing. Well, 10, 15 minutes go by, she's still not there. We're like, okay, like what happens now? So we're talking with our attorney the whole time, and he's like, well, let's give her a few more minutes to see what happens, but the hearing has to continue whether she's here or not. And we're like, oh, okay, so what does that mean then, Because we're like, oh, like if she doesn't show up, we're going to come back here again, like we have to do this all over. Like this was already quite the challenge to even get and do this and take off and be out here, because like you all know, we work, So some time went by, and he went up to go talk to her, to the people up front. She never showed up. So that was kind of like, oh, so does that mean that the whole thing gets thrown out, or what happened? So what ended up happening is that we talked with our attorney. He said, well, what happened is that we get the certification, which we did receive, a certification that says that you attended the hearing, that we attended the hearing, and we came there with the intention to mitigate and reconcile or figure out some kind of peaceful conclusion to this, and that she did not show up. And with that, she could still, if she comes, like it came later that day, or she comes the next day, she can technically summon us again. But I don't know. it was like really anticlimactic. It didn't really feel. It felt like almost like I was almost like ready for just come on, be here. I don't want to be wondering when this is gonna come back up again. But I guess the good side of that is that I was trying to say that the likelihood that she'll even come back to even redo the summons or something, and the likelihood that they'll even approve her to summons us again because she didn't show up for the first one is really low. And then she only has in 60 days from when we released her from when we terminated the agreement. So to actually bring forth the complaint. So once that another 30 days or so is over, then the whole thing is over. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I kind of had some mixed feelings. I'll just share how I felt about it. So my mixed feeling was that, like, through this whole experience, it really made me evaluate, like, myself, like us, like, okay, did we wrongfully let her go? Were we too harsh? I mean, even in our kindness, or even the fact that she didn't show up, I still felt compassion for her. Like, I asked Lee, and I was like, I wonder if she's okay, as we were leaving, because I was concerned about her, but then I looked on the babysit's app and seen that she had been active within 10 minutes. So I was like, oh, it just appears that maybe she didn't show up for this hearing. But I don't know. I don't like, at the end of it, I didn't want to break, I don't want to break any law here in Panama. Like, if that's the law, that's the law. If we're viewed as an employer-employee relationship, then I want to do the right thing. We just didn't know. So our attorney broke down a couple of things that we need to consider, and I'll let you share that part because it's some good info.
Well, even before that, it was like, fortunately for us too, even in the worst case scenario, it only was about $200 that we owed because she only worked with us for about 7 weeks. Mm-hmm. So it was around $206 is what we would have owed, which was with the 13-month pay, with the vacation time that would have been accumulated, and a severance of 1 week's worth of severance pay. So even then, the amount of legal limits of what she was able to request was still not that bad. And so it was fortunate for us that we did have the discernment and kind of felt like it was time to let her go sooner than later, because it obviously would have been a lot more went in as well too. So,
and the attorney also said that if she didn't agree to whatever her acquired rights would have been, say for example we said it was $200 and something, she said no, she could have taken it to the court before a judge, and then that would have cost everybody more money. So that was kind of more of the worst case scenario. Again, we still have to wait until the end of next month because she can come back, but we're prayerful that it's resolved. I just hope she found some other work. And then it had me thinking, like, because we didn't leave her a review on Babysit's app. She left us a review after only working with us for like 2 days. So I had never gotten an opportunity to leave a review. So that opportunity is there now. So I found myself like, do I leave a review? I mean, obviously it would be an honest one, or do I just let it go since she didn't show up? Do I leave a review? Do I don't? Anyway, what y'all think? Y'all think I should leave a balanced review, or what?
I mean, yeah,
or just let it be.
I mean, the review,
I think let it be.
I don't know. We have to talk about it.
Well, because people can you guys can reach out to us if you're coming with family or have kids, or you're looking at a nanny through WhatsApp. But man, there's so much information you gotta know, like all that stuff that people was talking about. Oh, just through having them 3 days, you're not liable. Like you still liable. Yeah. Like even if you have them for 3. This is what our labor attorney has told us, and we're gonna have them on a video in the next 1 or 2 videos. But he was still saying you still gotta have a contract. They still can come. They can still go to Ministry Dell and say that they were your employees, even if it's only been 3 days. So like I don't know where this information is floating around that it only has to be 3 days.
Yeah. So what you mean, like if they work 3 days or less a week, then it doesn't count. Mm-hmm. But like our attorney told us today that there's no law with that. Like even if it's 3 days, it's considered part-time employee. It's a part-time employee. And because it's a domestic worker, it's treated differently. Mm-hmm. So even if they're part-time, there's still like entitlement to certain benefits like maternity leave, mm-hmm. Short-term disability. If they're sick or get ill for more than 4 weeks, you're still paying it, even if it had nothing to do with the job. Mm-hmm. Health insurance benefits potentially. Social Security benefits here that you pay into, and pretty much like anything you can think of for an intern as an employer, it's that. And you're like, man, even just for a couple of days, a week, you still are responsible for that. Now, granted, I know a lot of people say, well, you need the laws of your of the country you're in, but I mean, honestly, I didn't know every law in the U.S. So I guess to me that doesn't seem like. I mean, I think you learn the best you can.
Yeah.
You learn the best you can, right? You're not going to be prepared for every single situation. You know, we've done a lot of research before we came here for our discovery trip, and it's still, you're still going to be surprised. We've heard people say that they've been here for years and had the brokers and attorneys and everything, and they still are getting shocked and surprised by certain things they didn't know about.
Yeah, I just wanted to read some information that our attorney sent us. He says, so in terms of the law with salary, you can't pay the nanny minimum wage. Not lower than minimum wage, $350 monthly. Of course, we weren't paying her that low. It says vacation time equivalent to 1 month for every 11 months work. Equivalent to 1 month for every 11 months work. So that's I think that's the 13th month. What is it?
No, it is. So one month of vacation for every 11 months worked.
Got it.
That's what it is.
All right, and then the 13th, they're entitled to the 13th month, equivalent to 1 month of salary divided into 3 parts. And then with Social Security, in the event that the amount of days is less than 3 per week, it's not required. And then Lee asked them, are maternity and health insurance benefits also required for someone working 3 days or less a week? ? He says, my suggestion is that regardless of the period, it's better to register the worker at the Social Security office in order to be covered by those benefits. The recent Social Security reform is increasingly incorporating all forms of employment as mandatory to pay Social Security. So labor law also protects the employer if the domestic employee becomes ill for more than 4 weeks or has an infectious disease not caused in the workplace.
So again, we still have so many questions, even for him, as we're kind of hesitant right now to hire on or employ or contract or however you define it or go into an agreement with anyone else. Not just because it's a lot we don't know, and we do want to kind of get it figured out, because we had thought we'd done research and we had heard from a lot of people who are here who had kind of gave advice, but in the end it is true. You should learn, you should speak to an attorney. So I recommend that for anyone here who's looking to hire a domestic worker, housekeeper, anything like that. You want to make sure that you do the due diligence on that person, but really have an agreement, because as he said today, it's they're all going to start off good. It's just if everything's going good and going well, it's going to go well until it's not. Until it's time to let someone go. Our situation that happened with her, we were told that we were supposed to have given if we met an employee, if we were determined as an employer-work relationship, then we were supposed to give her a 30-day notice.
By law, 30-day notice.
And if you don't give a 30-day notice, then you have to give a severance pay. So that's where that kind of happened, and where they're saying, oh, you would have owed her a severance pay. Now, we were never we just didn't want a situation where she would go in there and lie about additional, because we had heard multiple stories already of people at hearings and the person going into the office and lying about how long they worked for, or lied about not getting payment. So that was some of our concerns. Was if we go into here, is she going to be honest? Because we're fine with, if we didn't know something, we're fine with paying what the law requires. We just didn't want to get got on additional. But in the end, I would say that God, he works in his mysterious ways, right? He works in his own ways. We never once considered the fact of her never showing up for the
I didn't even think about that at all.
As what would happen in that event.
Yeah.
And it kind of feel like it might be over, but I also feel like it might not be yet.
So we still a little bit in limbo, but we hope that it's resolved. But I do want to shout out a YouTube channel, I Go Panama. They commented on our channel about a video that they had about domestic workers. It was a couple years back. I think the law has changed a little bit, but they have a downloadable contract that you could maybe use, take it, run it across your attorney's desk to see if it's foolproof. if you want to hire a domestic worker. So I Go Panama YouTube channel, shout out to them for reaching out, and just everybody else who's given us all these tips, you know, all the 60% good comments, and I mean, even think the 40% negative comments, because y'all making us get some real tough skin, and I appreciate between sales and YouTube comments. I ain't gonna have no more tears to cry.
Oh man, I tell you that.
Oh, and the last thing, our inner circle. Go ahead.
No, you got it. Go ahead.
So we created an inner circle membership for people who want to know like the real about living in Panama. Just our experience. We only been here 3 months, but just a journey. And also you can ask whatever questions you want to ask. We'll give it to you a buck, 100% in honesty. And again, there are things we do enjoy about Panama. We're just sharing our experience. And if you want to hear more, if you want to feel more connected or ask more direct questions, we've launched the membership.
Yep, which means we'll be offering some monthly live streams for right now. So feel free to check the description for that link as well. And like we said in the next, well, not the next one, but soon we're going to have the labor attorney.
Yes.
We're going to have a video with him to ask some questions for us, but also we feel that could be a good opportunity for you all to have information from an attorney, because there's a lot of like information out there that is going around, things that we heard that we found out are like they're not legally what the case is. They're not legally binding. So we thank you all for following us in this story. I'm sure it's probably not the end. It's the ending that some of you may have wanted. From some of the comments, it's the ending I don't think that you wanted. But we're glad that we got the ending that we got so far, and we know that God has continued to be with us regardless of what y'all see. So thank you again.
All right. Peace.